U.S. intelligence center, as well as oil refineries in the UAE and Bahrain, making a major escalation now in the region. Tehran says that the attacks were carried out in response to recent U.S. military action, raising fears, of course, of a wider conflict across the Gulf. The claims have heightened concerns over the security of critical energy infrastructure. Raymond Vickery, bringing you back into the conversation on this note. Of course, Iran will be making retaliatory strikes. But as far as now oil infrastructure and other critical energy infrastructure is concerned, we just saw that the Gulf was in a way trying to bounce back from the initial phase of the war. But since the war has resumed, how do you think this is going to now redefine the relations of the Gulf countries with the US that had very conveniently promised to protect some of these nations, but we see that it's clearly not being able to do so?
Well, it's going to have a tremendous impact upon the relationship between the United States and the Gulf countries. Those countries had a plan of action which presumed peace and stability, and so they would be able to develop their own economies. They would be able to act as a center in regard to economic and business transactions. They'd be able to use their wealth to influence what happened across the board in building peace and prosperity. This is no longer the case. And so they're going to reconsider what their plans are, their strategic approach to the United States. So instead of relying on a U.S. umbrella, which is beginning to show that it has holes in it, they're going to look for a different way forward. And the different way forward is not going to include reliance on the U.S. And what it will look forward to is some sort of accommodation with Iran in order to be able to save of their own economic situation. This is completely antithetical to the interest of the United States. It is absolutely disastrous politically for the president and his party, because the United States has been a key actor and a key beneficiary of the peace and business and trade aspects of the Western Asia. So this will be a knock-on effect. And if you add to that the questions about the Straits of Hormuz and the cutting down on passage there, the way forward is not at all clear in terms of how you get back on track. My own view is the only way to get back on track is to have a coalition of the willing democracies, the great democracies of India, Western Europe, Japan, Australia, Brazil, who will really subscribe to the principles, if not the mechanisms, set forth in the UN Charter. And that is an approach which does not use force and the threat of force, that respects boundaries. And those nations are going to have to step in, along with internal political restraints in the United States,
yes,
to restore some semblance of international order.
Right, absolutely.